The Encyclopedia of Funk and Wagnalls says, "This shape or model is one of the earliest known symbols that have been made by man, and one of the most pervasive symbols among primitive peoples. This symbol was found on all continents apart from Australia, and was the emblem of the sun god, from Apollo, Roman, Odin, Viking, to Quetzalcoatl, Aztec. This symbol still survives as a religious symbol in India among Buddhists and Jains, as well as in China and Japan, as well as among Indian tribes in North America who still continue the practice of shamanism and shamanic medicine." Quote, in the Encyclopedia Britannica, Professor Shepherd wrote, "The shapes of the cross have been used symbolically, religious or otherwise, long before our common era, in almost all parts of the world. Two forms of the pre-Christian cross have become fashionable in Christianity. The Egyptian hieroglyphic symbol of life, Ankh cross, Tau cross with a circle on it, is adopted and is widely used on Coptic Christian monuments. The Swastika Cross, Crux Gammata, which consists of 4 gamma letters. Silver swastika coins found in the Greek Corinth. Etruscan pendants with the symbol of the swastika found on ancient sites in Greek capital Italy, are marked on many early Christian gravestones as a disguised symbol. This symbol was widespread before Christian times in Europe, Asia, and America, and is generally considered the symbol of the sun or fire. That's where the meaning of the source of life comes from." Quote, in some places in the world, the tip of the bend on the swastika is given a picture of the sole of the foot, which indicates a walking motion. In other places, there is also a drawing of the tip of the swastika with birds depicting the motion of the sun flying through the sky. Or the image of a fish, which suggests the sun diving in the sea beneath the earth's surface after sinking at night and before rising again the next day. However, the swastika is a symbol of the sun god. Since the sun is only one for the whole world, naturally everywhere in this world, if they worship the sun god, then its symbol and belief will be similar. The swastika was and still is representing things that are noble and sacred, especially for Hindus, Jainas, Buddhists, followers of the Gallic-Roman faith, whose main altar is decorated with lightning, swastikas and wheels, adherents of ancient Celtic beliefs, swastikas symbolizing goddesses Api Bridget, adherents of the ancient Slavic faith. The swastika symbolizes the sun god Sharag, as well as to the Hopi and Navajo Indians who use the symbol in healing rituals. Athena's robe as well as the body of Apollo, the Greek god and goddess, were also often adorned with this symbol. Equations of the Celtic sun god with the Aztec sun god with the modified Armenian alphabet swastika. Armenian alphabet is not only modified swastika, but also there is secret information and sacred, civilized, scientific knowledge, sacerdotal knowledge about stars, constellations, longitude and latitude, galaxy, the model of galaxy creation. It is proved by the fact that one, with 36 signs letters, can express the numbers from 1 to 10,000, without using any other signs. That is the ideal comparison of system of 6, which was common to the Armenian highland, 60 minutes, 360 degrees, and the system of 10, division of sky into 3*12. Quote, according to the research by Armin Davtyan and according to the research done by Vahan Sarkisyan. As described above, the Armenian letter is also a modification of the swastika symbol. On the bird's chest is engraved an intricate pattern of combined swastikas. It is the oldest identified swastika symbol in the world. Radiocarbon tests show that it is about 15,000 years old. The bird artifact was found along with a number of phallus objects, which supports the idea that the swastika pattern was used as a symbol of fertility. In 1965, paleontologist Valentina Bibikova discovered that the bird's swastikas closely resemble the natural patterns seen in ivory. Allegedly, the artifact makers were simply imitating what they saw in nature. The single swastika began to appear in the Neolithic Vinca culture in southeastern Europe some 7,000 years ago. But in the Bronze Age, the emblem spread throughout Europe. One of the collections of the Kiev Museum is a clay vessel from 4,000 years ago with a swastika symbol engraved on the top. When the Nazis occupied Kiev in World War II, they believed the pot belonged to their ancestors, the Aryans, and took it to Germany, then returned to Ukraine after the war. The swastika is also found in ancient Greek culture, used in tiles and textiles. People at that time used a single swastika motif to decorate pottery and vases. Swastika on a comb bird artifact with the swastika insignia found on the Danish Nittim Mose. The same emblem is also found on fragile textile fragments from the 12th century AD, believed to be the dress of a Slavic princess, embroidered with gold thread to repel reinforcements. The swastika became a popular embroidery motif in Eastern Europe and Russia until World War II broke out. A Russian writer named Pavel Kudenkov identified 200 variations of motifs across the region. Regardless, the Hakenkreuz remains a terrifying symbol. What's more, in 1941, Kiev became the site of one of the worst mass killings of the Nazis. At that time, nearly 34,000 Jews were arrested and killed on the edge of Babi Yar. In Western Europe, the use of the swastika as part of ancient culture can be found in many places, one of which is a stone from the Bronze Age at Ilkley Moor in Yorkshire, England. On the other hand, the swastika also occupies a secular position as merely an architectural decoration motif and a symbol of business entities, ranging from beer companies to laundry. The first Westerners to travel to Asia were inspired by the positive side and connection with ancient cultures, and started using them at home. In the early 20th century, there was a trend to use the swastika as a symbol of good luck. Roman ceramic mosaics found on the site in the area of La Omelda Spanish helm with swastika belonging to the Toronto troops. His book, The Swastika Symbol Beyond Redemption, graphic design writer Stephen Heller said, Western people at that time enthusiastically used it as an architectural motif, in advertisements, and even product design. Coca-Cola uses it also Carlsberg on the beer bottle. Even with Boy Scouts, scouting organizations such as Scouts, the Girls Club of America even named its magazine, Swastika. They even sent swastika badges to young readers as gifts. Stephen Heller, as published by the BBC. The swastika emblem was also used by U.S. military units during World War II. It can also be seen on Royal Air Force RAF planes until 1939. The symbol was used less and less in the 1930s when the Nazis came to power in Germany. The Girls Club magazine uses the swastika symbol for Coca-Cola advertisement in the form of swastika on the RAF fighter. The swastika can also be seen from space. Try to see it from the Google map with the coordinates 32 degrees 40 minutes 34.19 seconds north, 117 degrees 9 minutes 27.58 seconds west. It is the swastika-shaped building. This is a controversial building ever made in America. This building is in the shape of the swastika logo. In fact, the swastika was also a symbol of an unbearable cruelty when Hitler used it as a representative of the superiority of the Aryan nation. Millions of Jews died at the hands of soldiers who proudly wore the swastika, sistrover, tilted to the left about 45 degrees, on their arms. The head of the party branch, Gauleiter, of the NSDAP was able to pin this when he met in the province of Thuringia in 1935 to celebrate the meeting's 10th anniversary. The inscription on the eagle's wing to the left NSDAP 1925. The NSDAP is the party of Adolf Hitler, stands for the swastika emblem on the American military building in the cast of the swastika on the Microsoft swastika logo on the party symbol. Nationalsozialistische Arbeiterpartei Deutschland, and 1925 the year of the first meeting. The inscription on the right wing of Thuringen 1935. Thuringen, Thuringia, is a province in Germany, while 1935 is the 10th meeting year. In the middle of the eagle, a symbol of the German state, as in Indonesia the Garuda, is the swastika, a symbol that Hitler took from the inverted Hindu religion to become the symbol of his party, and the standing lion, that is the flag of Thuringia. Swastika as a symbol of Lord Ganesha, Shiva's elephant-faced son, as the meaning of Dharma chess. Krishna said to Arjuna on the battlefield, when Arjuna had to fight against his own brother, this was wrongly interpreted by Hitler, namely, do whatever you have to do as long as it is your duty. You have to do your job well even if it means killing for good. Because doing your job well is a form of devotion to God. Hitler was probably interested in the meaning of the swastika, so he took the swastika emblem and turned it over, so he could kill without guilt. Because he thinks what he is doing is what is right. He took refuge under the swastika whose direction was reversed, which was supposed to mean Dharma chess. Swastika is a plus sign which in Balinese is known as Dara, where in mathematics plus means addition or increase, which is positive in this case, especially happiness. The edges of the plus sign have a clockwise length that turns inward in a curved shape. It gives the impression of the swastika that it is a wheel. Then four points are added at the intersection of the four corners. Literature states that the 4 points represent the 4 directional directions. Swastika symbol of technological progress. The swastika with 4 dots can also be described in another way. the swastika is the suggestion of a wheel, which is actually an original invention that spins the entire spectrum of industrial progress. Besides, the swastika is the best symbol for speed. All present progress and prosperity is a byproduct of the wheel. The first complex machines man-made were clocks or watches. The meaning of the Tapak Dara symbol plus Tapak Dara, or often called Tampak Dara or Tadarek, is a common symbol used in Bali, where the simple symbol of the swastika is depicted with a plus sign, usually written in raw lime or in Balinese called hammer, limestone, so that the color becomes white. Tapak Dara is a symbol of the unification of the quality of life Rabinada. This cross symbol in Bali is known as the sign Tapak Dara, plus sign plus, in India it is called Satya. The image of Tapak Dara in Bali is usually used to reject distress or to give calm to someone after something surprising has happened. Tapak Dara is usually used when carrying out a religious ceremony and is also attached or written on the house, etched on several pillars of the house with pamar. Of course, when the Pamlaspa ceremony, the ritual of submitting for a newly built house, is held. The sign of Tapak Dara plus is often used as a traditional medicine, Ayurveda, where this sign is rubbed with pamar, a type of chalk accompanied by a mantra placed on the palms of the patient's hands and on the soles of the patient's feet, especially babies or children. Also attached to a mother who is breastfeeding, is surprised by something, usually a painting of the Virgin's tread from charcoal, whiting on her milk and her child between the forehead means, is to reject harm or something negative in nature. We also find this sign in Kekab, rice cooking cover, which also functions to reject negative things. In Kolkal Kentongan Tetampug, fittings for the Butha Yadnya ceremony, Makaru, and other places that are considered important. Therefore this sign is known as Tapak Dara, Tampak Dara. The meaning of the Tapak Dara symbol, plus the Virgin's tread, symbolizes the path of the sun. In ancient times the sun was considered the highest god, which in Bali is called Sang Hyang Siwa Raditya. In full, the next development, from the symbol of Tapak Dara to become the swastika, which is the basis for the strength and welfare of Buana Aging macrocosmos and Buana Elit microcosmos. The Tapak Dara sign, symbolizing the path of the sun, is the basic framework for the swastika sign. The swastika is developed from the sign plus, which at the ends are given a short horizontal line. This swastika sign is also a symbol of the way of the sun. Swastika, which has been used as a symbol of Balinese religion, means safe or prosperous. For people in Bali, swastika philosophy has a very deep religious meaning, namely as a symbol of eternal motion, which emerges from the apparent movement of the sun from east to west. This motion of the sun is visible because the earth rotates on its axis from left to right. Praдаksina then evolves around the sun from west to east, so that the sun is seen moving from east to west. The swastika as a symbol of Balinese religion also has the meaning of a world cycle, which is guarded by the manifestation of God's omnipotence in the 8 cardinal directions Estadala, and centered on Shiva at the midpoint. The 9 manifestations of God's omnipotence were then called Dewata Nawasanga. The swastika also symbolizes science, which is always dynamic and experiencing renewal. Therefore the swastika symbol also implies restoring balance, creating stability both within oneself and in the surrounding environment. Swastika, this cross line, in Bali is called Tapak Dara, whose mythology is contained in the Lontar Katarbumi. It is called the appearance of a pigeon because the pigeon's feet or doves exactly resemble the shape of the cross line earlier. In ancient times, the cross line on the Virgin's palm was used as an antidote to calamities. Tadarek Tapak Dara, shaped straight. The development of Tapak Dara in Bali, a straight line in the form of the material used as, like, thick white chalk. The initial form is a point that moves freely in the form of a straight line horizontally, perpendicular or transversely. Symbol of an unhindered progress toward a definite end. The final destination for sure is pralaya. Implicit in the Vishnu Purana literature, there are 2 types of pralayas, namely Athayatika pralaya and Naimadika pralaya. Athayatika pralaya, symbolized by the white color, is the destruction of 3 types of human suffering, namely 1. Adhyatmika, ignorance, 2. Adidivika, physical suffering in the form of heat or cold, and 3. Adibhaudika, mental suffering. Athayatika pralaya was awarded by Ida Sanghyang Widi in an effort to guide and save mankind to avoid these sufferings. Naimadika pralaya is the beginning of a new life, where people who are always devoted to him will be saved by the avatara. The avatara who will come as the 10th one, known as Kalki Awatara, dressed all in white and riding a white horse. In the Brahaspati and Veda Parikrama scriptures it is stated that there are 8 omnipotents Ida Sanghi Ang Widiwasa who is called Asta Aishwarya, namely 1. Anima equals very subtle 2. Lagima equals very light 3. Mahima equals very large 4. Prapti equals can reach all places 5. Isagva equals above all else 6. Prakamya equals absolute will 7. Vasagva equals very powerful 8. Kamavasayatva equals natural, immutable. Asta Aishwarya that can be witnessed every day, for example, the rising and setting of the sun, the full moon Thailand, the eclipse of the sun moon, changes in the position of the stars, the wind that blows, the sea waves, the life of the human animal plant, Asta Aishwarya who comes from time to time. For example, earthquakes, tsunamis, typhoons. Asta Aishwarya also means a warning to mankind about their sins which must be balanced with awareness, dharma, and the practice of religious teachings in everyday life. Asta Aishwarya at certain times can be in the form of punishment to mankind for not being devoted to him. The topic Dara symbol has existed since ancient times, used in religious life in the form of Balinese culture. This symbol is used regularly and also incidentally. In each Swastika there is generally an epidemic called dry, sasab and languishing. Drying is a plague that afflicts humans. Sasab is a plague that afflicts livestock, while languishing is a plague that afflicts plants. Before the outbreak, people in Bali generally wore the topic Dara symbol at the entrance to their respective homes. In addition to the symbol of topic Dara, it is also accompanied by prickly pandanus leaves called pandan wang accompanied by tri-dhatu thread, namely red, black and white threads wrapped together. The topic Dara symbol is also used in traditional medicine. The sign of topic Dara from whiting is often scratched by Balian on the part of the body where pain is felt in medicine as a means of traditional medicine. In fact, traditional symbols carry universal meanings. It is called the topic Dara because its shape resembles the footprint of a pigeon or a dove. This symbolizes the swastika symbol in a distinctive form of culture in Bali. In Balinese teachings, nature and its contents process in 3 stages, namely SRSTI, swastika and pralaya. Natural processes are called SRSTI, meaning that a new natural state is in the process of being created. The swastika process means that natural processes are in a stable state all in balance. The pralaya process is the natural process of returning the pralina to its source, namely to the creator. So topic Dara is a symbol of balance. This teaching is called Tri-Hita Karana, Tri equals 3, Hita equals prosperous, Karana equals cause. In essence, Tri-Hita Karana means that the 3 causes of welfare are rooted in the harmonious relationship between 1. Man and God Parayangan 2. Humans and their natural environment Palamahan 3. Humans with others a Pawangan Tri-Para Artha 1. A seed, meaning we love and cherish everything in this world that is in the middle and lower realms. 2. Punya, means that we carry out all kinds of acts of devotion to fellow humans and everything in nature and also with God on the basis of the first point ASIH, for example, such as, we carry out our obligations as students, namely to study well and running tears. Our brahmachari properly performs our duties as parents, husband, wife, employee, business owner, official properly and based on dharma and asi. Apart from that, we also carry out our obligation as bhakta to always be devoted to God. 3. Bhakti, which means that we always strengthen our shraddha and devotion with ida sang hyam widiwasa based on compassion and actions of punya. So the 3 elements of the Tri-Para Artha are related to one another, in order to create harmony in life. These 3 ways of religion must be carried out in a balanced manner. Thus the symbol of topic Dara means, vertically, upward is a symbol to serve God, below the form of compassion for all living beings. Meanwhile, a horizontal cross means a form of reciprocal devotion to others. The emergence of topic Dara in Bali seems to remind the Balinese to reinforce the meaning of this symbol in life. The use of the topic Dara symbol with pandan wang and tri-dhatu thread is fading in Bali. Their symbolic use may fade a little, but what cannot be faded is to understand these values in everyday behavior. The use of lime in Balinese tradition also has universal value. If the Hindus melispas the house, for example, the pillars that support the roof of the house, which is called tuge, are smeared with whiting, charcoal and red chicken blood. It's the Uriper symbol, so the rubbing of whiting is also meaningful to motivate the people to be more dynamic in life towards a better and true one. The use of Pandan Wong in Balinese mythology is a symbol of weapon to defeat violent traits. Pandan is a symbol of weapon and Wong means human. So what is best used to defeat negative traits in society are human values, not giant values of violence. The Tri-Dhatu thread symbol of the combination of red, black and white threads that accompanies Pandan Wong also has a universal meaning. The Tri-Dhatu thread symbolizes the balanced life process of creating, maintaining and eliminating something that should be created, maintained and eliminated. It seems that this traditional understanding is what Balinese people use in responding to the appearance of the topic Dara mark on various shrines and places of worship in Bali. The incident should be faced as a fact that is happening and cannot be denied. Accept it as a symptom of the times. Some examples of point 2 punya have been described, but ritualistically we can listen to examples of its application, including 1. The relationship between man and his god Parayangan Bhakta, which is manifested by Dewa Yajna. 2. The relationship between humans and their natural environment, Halamahana seed, is manifested by Buddha Yajna. 3. The relationship between humans and others, Pawangan Punya, is manifested by the Pitra, Rishis, Yajna humans. God gave us the task of balancing the three elements. If there is an imbalance between the lower, middle or upper realms, there will be several impacts which are usually real. We can see it directly like this. Great placement. The application of the swastika concept in the concept of residential space in Bali can be seen in the form of a crossroad or a great placement Kataspatha in the center of the settlement. The concept of the great placement is an expression of the cross-space pattern of the road axis, as a cross between the Earth's axis and the Sun's axis, and can be analogous to plus or topic Dara, which is the basic framework for the swastika sign. Then in each corner of the great placement, empty land is provided. Karang pouring, the area of one parcel, which functions as a building-free green open space.
Indonesia, tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku. Di sanalah aku berdiri, jadi pandu ibuku. Indonesia, kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah.